Now I'm going to look at this. Since I have to subtract, I'd rather call this number 2 and that number 1, which means we have x1 and y1, x2 and y2. Shh. All right? So when we put this in, I have 9, actually 9 minus 2 over 8 minus 2, 7 over 6. For this one, a lot of you seem to want to change things from positive to negatives and negatives to positives right from the get-go. Write it down properly, then do your changes. Okay? Otherwise, you just confuse yourselves. A lot of you get these transcription errors. Shh. So I'm going to call this 2. I'm going to call that 1. Doesn't matter which one. Shh. So we get y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So I get 4 minus negative 11. Don't worry about changing things now. Just write it down properly. Just put the values in. Shh. So we're down here. Very last part, and we might come back to this in a second. But the last thing, is we need to talk about this a little bit, is the linear equation. This is the equation of a line. When we talk about the equation of a line, this gets into our point. A certain form, you can find the slope easily. This form is called the slope-intercept. Remember, last time we did the standard form. Remember, we had the standard form, which was ax plus by equals c. That was the standard form. Standard formula line. This is what you want to do is always solve these for y. You solve the equation for y. So on this one, how would I move it over to the... I need to move the x to the other side. So what would I do? I would subtract x from both sides, and I would get 3y equals negative x plus 6. And notice how I write it. I write it with the y, x, and then a number form. Now I need the y alone, so I'm going to do what? Divide both sides by 3. And so I get y equals negative 1/3 x. 1 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. There, we divide both parts of it by the same number. This is what I get. Just like I multiply through, same as multiplying by 1/3. So I get my line. This would put it in what's called the slope-intercept form. All you're doing is solving for y. Well, you had to solve for it. And there you start. Basically, it's in standard form. you need to put it into slope-intercept form. So you guys try to put this one into slope-intercept form. Don't forget, y has to be a positive at the end. So do this one. You're solving so y is alone on the left side. You want this, like I said, there's two different forms you see lines. One is the standard form. That's what that's in. That's in standard form. But we usually use these in this form, where y is alone, like this. So in other words, in this line, our y-intercept is 0, 2. That's the y-intercept. Our slope is negative 1/3 is our slope. Negative 1/3.
So you want me to get the y alone, right?
You want to get the y alone. Over here, you want to get the y alone. Quickly, we're running out of time. So the first thing you want to do is, I need to move the x to the other side because I want y alone. So how do I move the x to the other side? I'm going to do what? Subtract 2x from both sides, so I get negative y equals negative 2x minus 3. But I have a negative y. I don't want a negative y, so what do I have to do to make it a positive y? Divide it by what? I heard it. Negative 1. We divide both sides by negative 1. And so I get a positive y. Well, negative 2 divided by 1 is positive 2x. Negative 3 divided by plus 3. So this would be our formula. Our slope would be 2. Our y-intercept is 0, 3. Is the y-intercept on this. All right. Yes, sir.